This is a video update for the Luke 140 Syndicate. Well, guys, we took Luke out to his first horse trials since the Kentucky 3-day event. Luke obviously had a big run in at the end of April at Kentucky around the 5-star, and we gave him a couple of weeks off and gently brought him back into work, and he's been pretty well behaved actually. The hot weather is good for Luke. He's no good when it's freezing cold and windy, so he's been pretty well behaved. There's often a couple of sessions every week where he jumps around a bit. We took him up to Princeton, and I jumped a metre 20 on him earlier in the week. Met Peter Wild up there, and obviously you guys all saw the video, and he nearly got me off. He was jumping a beautiful round, and I thought, Lukey, you've come good, mate. You've finally matured. And right in the next split second, he was nearly wheeling me off. Anyway, half the reason I took him to Princeton is I think he just needs to get off the property, and he was actually very well behaved at Jersey. Obviously, you're seeing his dressage test. I entered him in the Open Intermediate. It was a very easy class for him. I've sort of been wanting to work a little bit on his rideability cross-country. Obviously, that was one of our biggest challenges at Kentucky. He's fast enough. He's a good galloper, and he just gets a bit strong and wild. So at New Jersey this weekend, I tried a slightly different bit, which I was pretty happy with. It wasn't perfect. There was a couple of jumps that it was a little bit rough and ready, but generally speaking, it was a good performance. He did a good dressage. I wasn't too worried about the result of this contest. It was, he got a 30 in the dressage with not much preparation. I've sort of just been working on his throughness and his softness, and came out and just popped him through his dressage test early on Saturday morning. It was a strong field. There was, I think, 25 horses in it, and Luke finished 5th on a score of 30. He was pretty well behaved. He was a little bit spooky and sharp when I was going around the arena, but then when he got in the arena, he performed well. Obviously, our main goal with Luke for the second half of this year is Maryland 5-star. That's in, I think, the second or third week in October. My goal was to give him just a nice, easy trip around Jersey Intermediate. Then I'm going to take him in about a month's time up to Bromont. Bromont's usually got really good footing in the middle of summer in August. And I'm, always on a mission to make sure that we sort of go out of our way to make sure that Luke's legs are looked after well. So I'll probably run him in the 3-star short, maybe the 4-star short. I'm still on the fence about that. That's in 3 or 4 weeks. Then about 3 or 4 weeks after that, he'll do a 4-star short at Tryon. I feel like the 4-star short at Tryon, that's always good ground. And I'll try and zip him along a little faster at that one, and that will be our final run heading into the Maryland 5-star. Luke's been training really well at home. I got to train with Christoph Hess. The Aachen Nations Cup team did a bit of a mini camp at our farm in Pennsylvania before Aachen, and Christoph Hess, the German dressage judge / trainer, came and trained us, and he helped me a bit with Luke. Jumping wise, I've jumped him a couple of times with Peter, obviously gone to the jumping show, and then this weekend was all about just giving him a nice relaxing ride around the intermediate. Obviously the Kentucky 5-star was a huge challenge. It was a big course, and we really were relentless on Luke, and I got to say, in the cross country this weekend, he was a little bit backed off. I'm not sure if it was because of the sharper bit or the slightly harder ground, or he might be a little bit rattled from the Kentucky 5-star. I'm a big believer in trying to give them a couple of easy events, and really thinking hard about what gives us Luke's longevity. And I think not running him too hard at too many big courses throughout the year is going to look after his legs. My biggest focus over the next couple of events is to work a little bit on his rideability cross country, and I felt like I had a bit of a sharper bit with a rope noseband, and I felt he was a bit better under control. Obviously I went quite slow on him in the cross country, sort of looking after his legs, and I was like an old lady. I had a 16 time penalties in the cross country. Show jumping is bloody brilliant. I definitely think taking him to Princeton made this round better. And again, I've changed his bridle a bit for the show jumping. I've gone with a rubber straight bar Pelham. I feel like it's strong enough, but he doesn't throw his head around when he gets really strong to the fences. It sort of keeps him in a good shape. Luke's a fantastic jumper, so really our biggest goals or our biggest challenges are his rideability and his adjustability. He's a fast horse, but he's a hard horse to go fast on. Just because once he gets going fast, then he gets a bit wild and hard to balance between the jumps. So, I often run him a little steady just because I'm very cautious of his soundness, and I'm forever trying to make him just a little calmer and quieter so that when we get to Maryland, we can really cut him loose. Anyway, he played with this intermediate course. It was a nothing round for Luke. He's a spectacular jumper, and I was very, very, very pleased with how adjustable and rideable he was. It's sort of good that you have to do a dressage test in the morning. It's almost like having a pre-ride for the show jumping and cross country. Cross country is good. It was sort of raining a bit. Most of the course was very, very good. I had one ditch, I think it might be on a video, that I ended up pulling back for one too many. But my biggest goal is to try and keep him light in the mouth and not sort of charge at the jumps or yank him back in front of the jumps. Trying to keep like an even speed and trying to make it look that it's not a long distance or a short distance. I think I got it good about 70% of the time. This next fence he jumped well. I think the fence after wasn't ideal. Ended up a little bit holding and close. At the big competition, I need to go one less. Very, very pleased. His fitness is good. We're cantering 4 miles once a week on the track. He seems in good spirits. And like I said, we're planning to take him to Bromont, probably a 3-star, maybe a 4-star in a month's time. Maybe take him up to Princeton to do a meter 20 or a meter 30 course. But he's in great shape, guys. We're in business.